Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Killer Author Club. We are here with killer Jennifer McMahon, who will be telling us about her fabulous new creepy, and we do mean creepy, thriller, My Darling Girl. We have tons to talk about, so grab your cocktail, your list of questions for Jennifer, and sit tight. We will see you right back here in just a sec.
Thought you really loved me, guess I was wrong. Thought you'd never leave me, guess I was dumb. Waited like forever to be your plus one, but I guess you were done.
Hello, we are back. I am Killer Kimberly Bell, along with founding members Kara Ruda and Heather Gudenkoff, and we are so excited to celebrate Jennifer's new book tonight in the clubhouse. The Killers and I started the Killer Author Club so that readers like you can interact with some of the best suspense and thriller authors in the business. Our winter-spring lineup includes superstars like Frida McFadden, Nita Prose, she's in 2 weeks, B.A. Paris, Lisa Gardner, and so many more killer authors that you will definitely not want to miss. Dates, times, all the details are on killerauthorclub.com. So go there and check it out. But after the show, because tonight we're here with killer Jennifer McMahon to talk about killing of the fictional kind, of course. Make sure to drop your questions in the comments, and we will be scouring them during the broadcast to ask of our killer guest. If you're watching this on Facebook or have a Facebook account, check out our public group, Killer Author Club. And for our really hardcore killers, our private members only group called the Killer Author Clubhouse, where we pick a winner each episode to win some swag. So make sure to join so you can put your name in the big killer hat. We also have a YouTube channel where you can stream us to your big flat screen TV on the wall, and you can find us all wasting entirely too much time on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of the socials. For links to everything, watch the comments or check out killerauthorclub.com. So now, without further ado, Heather, would you please introduce our killer guest?
I would love to. Jennifer McMahon is the New York Times best-selling author of 13 suspense novels, including The Winter People and Promise Not to Tell. She has written about ghosts, serial killers, shape-shifting monsters, an evil fairy king, a kidnapping rabbit, a terrifying swimming pool, and more. Fits right in with the Killer Author Club. Her writing mantra, one that is so vital to who she is and what she does, that she has it tattooed on her wrist, is write what scares you.
Oh, I love it.
Jennifer lives on the Gulf Coast of Florida with her partner, Drea. When she's not writing, you'll probably find her exploring and seeking out haunted places, real and imagined. Okay, Jennifer, we're going to dive right in. Can you give us the elevator pitch for My Darling Girl?
Awesome. Yes. Thank you all for having me. This is so much fun. My Darling Girl tells the story of Allison. She is a successful children's book author with a wonderful life and a wonderful farmhouse in Vermont. And her life is turned upside down when she learns that her estranged mother has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. And it is her mother's dying wish to come and be with Allison and repair their relationship and seek peace before she dies. And soon after she arrives, Allison begins to wonder, is this woman her mother at all? Or is it possible that she might actually be a dark, evil spirit, a demon who has its sights set on Allison's family?
We loved it. Just loved it. We have so much to talk about, and we're going to talk about the book in just a moment. But Kara, what do you have for us now?
All right. Well, it is time for our killer cocktail. So Jennifer, will you tell us why you've chosen Penny's Yuletide Grog as your special cocktail?
Sure. I wanted to do a drink inspired by the book. And there is a scene in the book where Allison and her husband go over to her best friend, their neighbor's house, Penny's house, for a solstice party. And Penny has made a batch of Yuletide Grog, which is sort of like a hot apple cider, very heavy on the rum. So that's what we're drinking tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So cheers, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm on my tea.
And it's good for warming the bones on a cold winter night.
Exactly. I had to actually look up the word grog. I didn't know what it was. So My Darling Girl released on October 3rd, just in time for Halloween, which is, I mean, I'm guessing you guys did that on purpose.
It's perfect because it's a good Halloween read, but it's also a good Christmas read because
because it's Christmas
during the
time,
holidays.
right?
It's Christmas time, which I think is the perfect time for a creepy story, right?
Bold and scary and dark.
Bold
and
and scary and
creepy.
dark, and I also just love the idea of taking this like bright, festive time and kind of giving you that illusion and then slowly peeling back the layers to show the darkness inside.
Yeah, it's really great. We're going to talk about that too because we have some questions about the Nutcracker.
Oh yeah, okay.
We're going to get to that in just a minute. But the reviews have been amazing. Jennifer McMahon's storytelling skills are on full display. So says the New York Times Book Review. This novel feels like what you'd get if you injected The Exorcist into a Hallmark Christmas movie, and that's a good thing. I mean, that's perfect.
That's great.
Chandler Baker, who we have had on this show, you can find her episode at our website, killerauthorclub.com. Under past episodes, she says Jennifer McMahon takes an all too relatable idea who hasn't been driven a bit mad by their mother and definitely twists it into a tale of supernatural suspense and psychological thrills. She said, I got goosebumps. And then Paul Tremblay, author of The Cabin at the End of the World, says, when your estranged, abusive, and dying mother comes to spend her final days at your house, and that's only the start of your problems. My Darling Girl is a thrilling, heady mix of family dynamics and one hell of a clever and page-turning possession story, and scary. Good luck, reader. So, Jennifer, now that we're all ready to hide under the covers of our beds, we need to know your answer to the killer question, where do you kill?
Where do I kill? Well, I kill and I conjure right here in my office. We actually just moved about a year ago from Vermont, where all of my books are set, to Florida. So now I'm killing in Florida. Before that, I was killing in Vermont. But my books, at least for now, will continue to be set in Vermont because that's where my heart is for now. And I'm a huge fan of the Vermont setting. I can't seem to write. I keep trying to set books outside of Vermont, but I keep coming back to it. I'm just so drawn to it. And one of the things I love doing is kind of taking that picturesque, calm, like almost Hallmark movie like landscape and peeling back the layers and showing the darkness. And I will continue to do that. But maybe, who knows, maybe one day I will be setting a book in Florida or somewhere else. We'll see.
Florida can be a scary place too. There are all sorts of scary animals there.
Oh, yes, there's definitely there's a lot of inspiration here for sure. For sure. But yes, My Darling Girl is set in Vermont, and the book that I'm working on now is that hopefully will come out sometime when I finish it. It's also set in Vermont.
I love it. So you seem so normal. Can you tell us about where the inspiration came? Where is your dark side coming from?
Oh, it's always there. It's always there. No, I've been writing creepy things forever. I wrote my first short story in 3rd grade. It was about a haunted meatball. And I brought it to my teacher and she said, this is good. And I write me another story. And then I went home and I wrote a story about a mud monster. And then the next day I wrote a story about a boy who discovers a body in his wall. And so I've kind of been drawn to like the creepy and spooky since then. I find that for me, my best writing, I feel like the writing that makes me feel most alive and gets me most excited is when I'm writing based on one of my own fears.
That's the tattoo.
That's the tattoo. You hear over and over in writing, because I studied poetry as an undergrad and then in grad school, and you hear over and over, write what you know, write what you know. Yeah. But I feel like for me, it's write what scares you. And when I remind myself to do that, and I did that big time writing this book, because you guys, I did not want to write this book. This book scared me so much. The idea for this book came to me from a dream that I had in 2017. And I woke up, it was one of those gifts, I woke up from the dream and I had dreamed that I wrote a book called Heart of Stone about a woman taking care of her dying mother who becomes convinced that her mother is possessed by a demon. And I wrote it all down because I always write my dreams down. And I was like, oh, this is a good idea. And then I promptly closed my notebook and was like, no way, I'm not touching that, because what is the one thing I'm never going to write about? Demons, because that's so scary. That's like at the top of my like big fear list. And it seemed like if I started writing about demons and doing the demon research, that was just going to open a door, and who knows what might come through. I just kept pushing the idea away, and and every now and then it would kind of resurface. And what about that demon book, Jennifer? It was almost like little demons were whispering in my ear. What about the demon book? You want to tell the story of the demon book? We're still here. We're not going anywhere. And I kept picking it up and kind of adding a few more details and thinking about it. And then I'd get scared again and I'd put it away. And then time went on, and like there was the pandemic, and I faced a lot of real life fears, and lots of stuff had happened. And then I have this tattoo, right? What scares you? And I remember being on Facebook and telling people, what about, I have this idea for a demon book, but I'm really scared. And they're like, what about, right? What scares you, Jennifer? Or other people were like, no, you're right. Don't go near it. Demons.
Don't open that demon door.
But finally, I did it. I faced my fears and I wrote my demon book. And I don't think I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm like, I don't think anything's followed me. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I've had one of those dreams where like a story drops into your head, and I always tell people that it was a gift from the writing gods, and I had to honor it. So,
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, and it's like a gift, and it's wonderful. And I shouldn't ever put a gift away and shove it in a drawer and say, no,
right.
No more. I want more gifts like that, please.
And I have to say, because the subject matter is dark and creepy, but you do it so well. Like I was able to be able to suspend my disbelief. I felt like there was a demon just like creeping out of the book as I was reading. It was that well done. And that you just, the environment, the descriptions you had, how did you get in that mindset, and how long could you stay in that mindset as you were writing?
Oh, thank you. That means so much, Heather. Thank you. Yeah, I just I dove right into the world of the book and into Allison's world. And I feel like if I'm scaring myself while I'm writing, then I'm half hopeful that maybe readers will be scared too. And when I feel that little, that little thing you get on the back of your neck and you're like, oh, I'm like, okay, this is good. Keep going when I have that feeling. That said, I did have to take breaks, especially when I was doing the research, because I did a lot of demon research, and that really scared me.
That was one of the questions. Yeah. That's got to be scary, just researching the demon.
Yeah, it was scary. And I was scared reading about demons and reading about possession and reading like supposedly true stories of possessions was pretty scary for Jennifer.
Yeah.
When Jennifer gets scared, Jennifer speaks. So yeah, Jennifer. It was scary. And one of the things I did do is, so that the demon in the book that is mentioned in the book, I made up. It's a fictional demon, I think. I hope. Yeah,
because you don't want to call him by
name. Names. I didn't want to do anything. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I actually, I was working on the book, and I was on tour for my last book, Children on the Hill, and I met a man who was a demonologist. He'd studied demonology. He came to one of my readings, and we started talking demons. And I told him, I was like, I'm really scared, and I'm writing this demon book. And he said, make up a name, don't use a real name. And I was like, yes, you're right.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Okay, there are lots of people asking, like, Renee, do you keep a light on while you sleep? Did you write this during the day?
So here's the truth. In spite of the fact that I write creepy things, I'm the biggest scaredy cat in the world. For real. I am the person who screams loudest in horror movies. I'm the person who pick up the latest Stephen King book and have to sleep with all the lights on and have to keep closing it because I get so scared. And yes, I scare myself when I'm writing. So I get to a point where okay, I know when I need a break. I'm like, okay, this is enough scary for one day, and I'll take a break. Yeah, but yet, so even though I'm the biggest scaredy cat, I am like totally drawn to things that are scary, and I'm totally drawn to like, I'm reading creepy stuff. I love to read horror. I love to read anything. If it doesn't have a body, a ghost, a monster, I don't want to read it. Come on. Where's the, I'm like, where's the death?
Where's the demons?
What's happening?
Okay, here's a question. Do you have a pet to keep you grounded while you're alone writing?
Oh, that is such a good question. And it ties into the book because I do. I have a black Labrador retriever named Lola, who was totally the inspiration for the lab in the book, in My Darling Girl, named Moxie, who is an important member of the family.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
I do.
Moxie's
I love it. What's that?
Moxie's a real protector because
Moxie is a protector. Moxie knows something's going on in that house.
absolutely.
Moxie, and they all need to be listening to Moxie, and they're not really.
The dog always knows.
Mm.
Dog always knows. Animals always know. Dogs and cats, they always know. You know, did you ever have that scary moment where you're like, your dog or your cat is like looking at something that you can't see, but you know they can see it? Oh man, yeah.
Growling at like nothing.
Yes, but that's not nothing. It's
Right.
not nothing. I know. Yeah.
Demons again.
Demons, yes. And so, and Lola's an important part of my creative process. I take her we go for like, probably about an hour-long walk every day.
It's like Killer Heather. She has a low.
Yes, Lolo. I've seen pictures of Lolo.
Yes,
Lolo is beautiful.
keeps us company and makes us feel a little safer when we're writing. And we all have dogs, so we
Yeah.
you know we all think a little
Excellent. We're dog
safer.
people. Yay.
Writing such
Yeah.
scary stuff.
Yeah. No.
I have too many dogs, but that's another story. Too many dogs. Oh my gosh.
So a big part of the story is the ballet, The Nutcracker, which, you know, if you really think about it, is kind of a scary, scary story in itself. How did you decide to, include that and, use Christmas as the backdrop for your story as well?
Yeah. Well, the Nutcracker is a scary story. I totally agree. And the Nutcracker just came into it from personal experience. When my daughter was growing up, she was a ballet dancer from the time I don't know if she was like 4 or 5 when she started. She was very little when she started. And she danced up into her teens. So our holiday time was just completely taken over by the Nutcracker every year. And she would dance in something called the Green Mountain Nutcracker, which was a Vermont-themed Nutcracker. So yes, so many hours spent at rehearsals and taking girls to and from rehearsal and being a backstage parent and making sure the little mice had enough goldfish crackers and weren't eating anything that might stain their little costumes. And yeah, so I saw many rehearsals and many Nutcrackers, and it's a scary story. Yeah. It's a scary story, right? It's like a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. So that I took from real life, all my Nutcracker experience and my fear of the Nutcracker and the Rat King, Mouse King. And why set a book at Christmas? So I just thought I thought, what better time for a demon?
Right.
I thought it would be really nice to have the juxtaposition of this like bright, shiny, cheerful, happy holiday and something as dark as a possible demonic possession. And I thought that they would play wonderfully together. And I thought that setting it at that time would make the evil feel all the more evil. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like something that did not belong at all. Also, I'm sort of Christmas stresses me out. All the holidays just stress me out big time. And I wanted to write about a protagonist who was very stressed out by Christmas and the holidays. And I think that was a really good, I think anytime you're stressed out and on edge, it's a really good place for jumping off into something horrific, you know? Yeah. It's a good jumping off point. Why start in a happy place? Start in a little like, oh, I'm tense. Things are not gonna happen. This is not my time of year already. And then just keep jumping, keep pushing her closer to that edge. And push her off, and then she back up and discover again.
Allison doesn't have good memories of her Christmas.
Right.
So, and she tries really hard to keep that from her family, kind of protect them from that. But then what that source of all that angst shows up on her doorstep, and then everything goes.
Yeah. See, we can't ever truly run from our pasts, or at least our characters can't, right?
Right. Right,
In
exactly.
order to like move forward and fix things in the present day, we have to look back.
Right.
Yeah.
So Legina is asking, do you believe, and I'm going to add to that, did you find any in your research, spirits and demons making lights flicker or messing with electronics? Please
That
say no. Please say no.
it hasn't actually happened to me. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I totally believe. I believe, yeah, I believe that there is more to this world than meets the eye, and that there are forces out there that have powers to do things.
Okay, so we're saying this, and I'm thinking about yesterday. No, wait, was it today? It might have even been this morning. All of a sudden, one of our speakers just like started blaring music, and I couldn't get it to turn off with Sonos. I had to pull it out of the wall.
See?
Wow.
See?
Wow.
Oh,
That's scary.
scary.
Okay,
Scary.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry I asked that question. Now.
Well, now, Kimberly, you're gonna have to like smudge your house.
I
Like,
know.
Oh, I
it's
have
sage
sage.
and
Does
Yeah,
that
you-
work against demons?
Yes, it does. Yes, sure. Yes.
Doing it.
I like how I'm now the like demon expert.
expert.
Yes, you just
So you have to
take care of it.
just act like you are for now.
There, you know, say banish them a little. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask about the flies and the rats. Was that something that you came across in research? Is that a real thing?
I don't know if I came across it in research. I think that I think of flies and rats and kind of the nasty things as being associated with demons. I also like that Allison is an artist, right? And I liked that she was really that she was getting drawn into. She was supposed to be working on her Moxie book, her happy little children's woodcuts, but what she was doing was like pictures of insects, and she was really drawn to that for some reason before her mother even came into the picture. So, yeah. Why was she drawn to them?
It was scary.
Uh,
So I have a random question. It's not demon related. Are you a plotter or a pantser?
oh, guess.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a pantser, so I'd say pantser, but I'd probably be right. I don't know.
I am a total pantser. I have no idea where a story is going. This story, I did have an idea because I dreamed. I had this whole dream, and I wrote down the dream. And it stayed pretty close to like the end in the. Like I knew the ending when I dreamed the book. I knew how the book was going to end, and it actually did end that way, which was a nice surprise. But I never have any idea where I'm going when I start a book. I just kind of dive in. I've got my character that who I care about. I can hear her voice. I know she's got this big problem, whatever it is, and I just go. That said, so then I'll spew out this incredibly messy, chaotic first draft that makes no sense. And during the process of writing this first draft, people will say, what are you writing? What are you working on? And I'll say, I have no idea. I'm not sure what's happening. And only after I have my first draft do I start to understand. And then I print it and I lay it all over the floor of my house, and I start moving things around and like saying, oh, well, this middle actually is how I'm going to begin, and this beginning doesn't belong in here at all. And I'll kind of take things out and I'll put things in. And then after I've done that for a while, then I start to understand what the story's about. And then I'll outline and put things together and color code and make sure things make sense and plot and plan. I guess I do a hybrid.
Yeah, I've seen your process you've shared some of your sneak peek into your process, and you have your note cards, and it's amazing. I think you should teach a class.
I would love to do that.
Those of us who get lost in the mire like I did.
Yeah, I would have a lot of fun doing that. A lot of people have asked me to do that, and I who knows, maybe I will. But yeah, it's a process. But I think it's about finding what works for you. You know what I mean? Like some people are big outliners and need to know everything from the very beginning, and bless you, that's wonderful. And other people just complete chaos, and we find what works for us, right? And we kind of fine tune it, and we get better with each book. And yeah, in theory anyway.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's great. Oh my gosh, you guys.
I know.
Time is absolutely flying. So we're moving on because Jennifer is giving away 2 copies of my darling girl tonight. She is going to give one to US or Canadian viewers. All you have to do is to enter is to answer this question about our guest, and we will choose a winner from all the correct answers. Bonus points for joining the Killer Author Clubhouse on Facebook or subscribing to our YouTube channel, which I know is probably in the millions by now.
I think so. Yeah, a couple million for sure.
And it helps if you shout out where you're from. So the question is, what does Jennifer have tattooed on her wrist? So drop your answer to that question into the comments, and we will pick 2 winners tomorrow around this time.
Yay, good luck, everybody.
Yay.
And the Killers love indies, and we want to support them in any way we can. That's why we partnered with bookshop.org and have our very own Killer Author Club store on their website, where you can find all of our books from guest past, present, and future, as well as some fun lists that the 3 of us have put together for you. We'll be dropping that link in the comments, but in the meantime, and speaking of indies, Jennifer has selected Tombolo Books in St. Petersburg, Florida as her favorite indie. Jennifer, can you tell us why this store is so special?
Oh, it's wonderful. I feel so lucky that this is my new local indie, and I'm just getting to know them, but they are fun. They have it's everything you wish that an indie could be. And I just walked in, I was new to town, and I walked in, and it was one of those things where I felt instantly at home. The booksellers were amazing. It just felt like home. It felt like coming home. I love it. I love it. And they just are passionate about what they do, and they are passionate about connecting readers with good books. And I had my first local event there, and they made me feel incredibly welcome, and they have a great community of readers and other writers. So it's wonderful. I feel very lucky. So if you're ever in St. Petersburg, Florida, go to Tombolo Books. It's wonderful.
That's great. Thank you. Kimberly.
Yes. Okay. So hang on. I'm working on it. Okay. We have a video, Heather.
Yes.
Yay. As much as we'd love to invite every amazing killer author to be featured on our shows, there are so many fabulous authors, and we only do this every other week, but we can't let this evening go by without celebrating 2 very special releases. Strangers in the Night by Peg Tier, I hope I'm saying that right, which released today. Novice reporter Kate Murray is determined to make a career for herself covering crime for a New York City tabloid. But after she botches a big murder story, her bosses give her 6 months to redeem herself with the case of a hardworking nurse shot to death in the lobby of her building. And Kate is determined to beat everyone, including the cops, to the story. I'll be dropping that link in the comments in just a second, but we also want to celebrate Jessica Strasser with The Last Caretaker. It's out December 1st. I've read this one. If you hurry, it is also an Amazon First Reads. You have a couple more days to snag it for free. It's fantastic. It's about a woman in search of a new beginning who is put to the test as resident caretaker at a nature preserve when a frantic, terrified woman arrives late at night expecting a safe place to hide. It's clear that caretaking involves way more than Katie bargained for. And we have one arc of The Last Caretaker to give away. So comment away, mention that you would like Jessica's book, and we will be choosing one winner from the pile. And I'll put both of those links so you can go buy those books in the comments right now.
Yes. And we have more giveaways because, membership has its privileges. Every episode, we choose a name from the Killer Author Clubhouse hat to win a piece of swag, t-shirts, mugs, candles, totes, hats, all of which that can be found at killerauthorclub.com. And tonight's winner is Lisa Murray. So congratulations, Lisa. Please send one of the killers your address, and we'll send some killer swag your way.
And now, Jennifer, it's very exciting. We need to let you know that you have survived the Killer Author Club. Yay! So we present you with this thing over your face to let you know that we're super glad you're here and that you survived. And we'll be sending you your own copy that you can put on your bookshelf if you'd like. And know that we will have you back whenever you'd like to. And we're happy you were here and you survived.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm very happy I survived. And I'm happy I survived with all of you in such good company.
Thank you.
That time flew by. That was so much fun. And thank you for all the great questions, everyone who wrote in questions.
Yeah. Well, so guys, that does it for tonight's episode. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and of course to Jennifer for being here. We are back in 2 weeks with the one, the only, the fabulous Nita Prose. She will be joining us right here in the Killer Author Club December 12th at our regular time, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, to talk about her newest book, which I want to say came out today as well, The Mystery Guest. It's the follow-up to The Maid, if you've read that, and who didn't. And she'll be here to chat with us about that and to give away some copies. For full times, full schedule, past episodes, recipes, merch, all the good stuff, surf to killerauthorclub.com. Thanks for tuning in. See you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
I guess I'm a killer through our love into the river.